Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. Woo! No, that wasn't great. Hi guys, this is Natalia from NATALKA Design. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is me, the founder, the creative head of the business, call it whatever you want, the person that talks a lot. Welcome. Today we'll be talking about the books you should read. Very quickly, very focused. There's few books that really influenced me, inspired me, gave me a lot of juice, if you know what I mean, and I just wanted to share them with you. If you're interested in one of them, that's brilliant. If you want to gift some of them, that's even better. Watch and stay tuned. Before we get into it, as always, please hit the subscribe button, the like, the bell. All the bells and whistles are below. Just do it, show some love, show me some love. Please, please, thank you. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I'm just gonna adjust my loud chair that I should definitely get rid of and use something soft, and that doesn't make any sound, but it's fine, Let's go with it. I would like to structure this video into all the books that I really suggest. They will be audiobooks, they will be Kindle, and they will be physical books. And also then I would like to suggest to you and share with you what I do with my books. How do I buy them? How do I take care of them? And kind of what's my approach to books these days, let's call it, because there's not enough space for all the printed books that I want. Right, okay, so if I jump into maybe the good old printed books first, if that's okay with you guys, quick favorites, the books that you should read, whether you're a man, a woman, young, old, I don't care. They were just lovely, they were interesting, they were fascinating, they were awesome, and I think you should read them. First one that I have from the physical books, it's What I Know For Sure by not anyone else but Oprah Winfrey. I mean, we all know Oprah Winfrey, don't we? Oh, guys, what a lovely book, full of stories. I have even like old school notes before Kindle appeared in my life. I mean, what the hell, it's sad. But it's a lovely book. It's very small, it's easy to read. It has even a nice little kind of a dangly thing. What I Know For Sure, super nice set of little stories from her life. You know, it can be even stuff like she's eating a peach and it just makes her day. It's wonderful, it's relaxing, it makes you appreciate your life, and it makes you feel super good. It's like a good feel book. That's that. Second book that I have, physical book that I had to mention, Christoph Niemann's Sunday Sketching. Sunday Sketching, what a beautiful book. And as you can see, I'm one of those people, I'm like so random. I just like tear apart some random paper that I have, and I just, because I want to go through it and read it. So this is a designer, creative, Christoph Niemann, beautiful person. If you have Netflix, go to Abstract Documentary and watch his first episode. Amazing creative documentary, it will really inspire you. But why do I love it? It's a beautiful book written about, well, by him, about him and his life. And he just in the most creative way goes through his work, his design approach, his personal life, him moving to New York, coming back to Berlin, what he does, and there's even a few pages on how he loves gummy bears. And it's just beautiful, flip through, easy to read, kind of, short stories, but creative. Even if you're not a designer or into design, or you do completely something different, this book will be one of those books where you can like have a sitting in one evening or two, and you just feel so proud of yourself that you went through this massive book, because it's huge, but it's so cool. Even look at the back. I mean, how creative is this? So definitely recommend that. I'll link all those books below so you can check them out. So next up, just to make it like, we had the physical books, now I want to talk about audiobooks. So I'm going to pop the covers on the screen. The books that I really loved recently on audiobook, and mind, I've never been an audiobook person. I've always been a bit like, I need to see the text, I need to feel the book, what is this? Audiobook, I'm not sure, but I really got around to it and I'm loving it. What a book, what a book! So the first audiobook that I really love is Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. amazing, humongous book. But why I chose this as an audiobook, because every time I went on run, I found myself like running between, you know, first humans in the bushes, and, you know, listening about people years and years ago, and wars, and taking over lands, and how human is built, and human's brain, and human's approach, and the good things about humans, the not so great things about humans. What an interesting, huge read. You have to put energy into it, and you have to put some time, and you might want to choose to buy the physical, beautiful book. But for me, it was really good to just, okay, I've got that many hours, and I was just, every time I was running, I was listening to a bit. So I highly recommend that. Okay, next one. Oh my goodness. It really inspired me so much. It made me feel empowered. Every time I listened to it, I was like, yes, I feel the same way. Oh my God, is anyone else feeling the same way? It was a book highly acclaimed. I'm sure you've heard about it. It's called Untamed by Glennon Doyle. What a woman talking about her life, about her relationship with her ex-husband, with her lesbian wife, and her 2 kids, as far as I remember. Yes, 2 kids, and just like approaching life from so many different angles, discussing womanhood, discussing lack of equality, discussing funny stories, worrying stories, stories that make you feel inspired. But what a great read. It's very quick to flip through. Again, I listened to it because it's actually spoken by Glennon Doyle, which I find very interesting, that I like when author tells the story. It makes it more real. I so highly recommend, and it's not just for women, as some people say. I think if you're a man, if you are interested in someone else's story and kind of actually understanding women a bit more, and men to say, and being a parent, and being a friend, and being a partner, highly recommend. I love this book so much. And next one, out of my Kindle. So this is the kind of last part. If I go to my little Kindle, I mean, I love my Kindle. If I can say anything from my Kindle store, I would say I love Austin Kleon. Show your work. What a man. Follow him on Instagram and everywhere. What a creative person. Again, his book is very easy to read, but makes you think. It's all about creativity and your brain and how to approach things, and you know, the stuff that happens to our brain. And it's just, again, very easy to flip through. Some pages are full of text, some are just creatively, you know, full of drawings, or just one drawing or something, and you're just very curious what's going to be on the next page. It really inspired me. It gave me confidence to literally show my work, to be more out there, and to have that, you know, like belief in yourself that what you're doing, there's always going to be someone that will connect with your passion. So I highly recommend Austin Kleon. Even if you're not sure or something, maybe it's a great present for some of your friends or family, or anyone else special that you could send the book to. So now, before I go, I just wanted to tell you how I approach books these days, because in the past, you know, like anyone else, I would just buy physical books. Beautiful. I love books. I live for books. I'm one of those people that has books and just stares at them and like wishes they had more time to read them, which is always true, but we're just weirdly distracted, and you know, phones take over and everything. We all know that. But if I were to share with you how I approach books these days, I basically decided that there's not enough space in my house to buy all these beautiful paper books. And so I invested in Kindle. I highly recommend it. I love it. It's tiny, it's paper white version, super small. Back in the days when we could travel, I would always pop it in my suitcase. Now, yeah, basically I just, you know, carry it with myself. I go to a park, or I just read at home. Super convenient, and all my books are jumping into Kindle. And yeah, there's no waste, and I don't have enough space for all these books that I want to read. So it's amazing. Another thing that how I approach books, because I'm a visual person, I love books, I love flicking through books, they inspire me depending on my mood. Maybe I want to look at some interior stuff, at some cartoon stuff, at some graphic design, logos, you know, or completely something else, maybe like beautiful properties or anything like that, or nature, business, photography, you name it. I still want to flick through them. So whenever there's like a design book that I really want, for example, I don't know, Art of Disney books, or again, photography books or fashion books, I still buy them. Very strict with myself, but I still buy them because I love that physical aspect to them. So any books that I can read like you know, about business, inspirational, biographies, whatever, I do Kindle. And any sort of kind of books that require some flicking through, they look beautiful, they're coffee books and everything, still buy them in, you know, real paper, because I just so enjoy flicking through them with my coffee. And one thing that I introduced at some point, and I really like it, because let's be honest, if you want to like at some point maybe get rid of a book, or you have too many books, and or you just know you're never gonna read some of them, or you're not interested anymore in some of them, the good thing that I started doing, I think, is not necessarily going on eBay or like putting them somewhere away that you don't even know if someone's gonna be interested. I actually pick the ones that I really like, that I really read, or if I have an amazing book that I know is great about, I don't know, sales or something, but I know there's no way I'm going to go through a huge books like that, or about something that I no longer do or whatever, and I know some other person will love it, I send them. I started sending books to my friends and people that I really appreciate. One of them recently, my mentor, we had a very interesting conversation during our mentorship, and I know she'll understand when I send that book to her what I meant by it. And you would be surprised how people appreciate it. And they don't have to be super new, that's the thing. I'm not saying go ahead and buy a book to send it to someone. Choose a book that you really love at home, or you know it's amazing, it meant something to you, or it inspired you in some way. Pop a little note and say, this book I know you love because XYZ, and you know why they will love it. And it actually is, well, I find it really nice personal present, and people love getting physical things, especially now, presents that they can get through the post as a surprise. What a lovely thoughtful gift. And to have a note where they know that I'm sending this book because I know you love it, it makes it feel, I think, double special than actually almost the new book, because they feel like, ooh, someone spent time on it, someone flicked through it, someone maybe even highlighted some things, doesn't matter. Or maybe you could even like highlight a page and say, this page is so you, or something like that. You could be surprised how people actually, you know, respond to it in a lovely way. And I've done this recently for Christmas when I couldn't see all my friends, and I'm really excited to continue because I have loads that I've read. I know I'm not going to come back to them. They can make someone else happy. And I'm just thinking of who I can send them to and what to say. So hopefully it's a good tip. So that, my friends, is basically the books that you should read. I find them amazing for different ways. They're for different moods, different situations, but I hope that there's some sort of inspiration there. If it's not for you, then maybe someone you know would enjoy them, and it's an interesting gift. And again, the whole idea of like physical books, Kindle books, audiobooks, find your way, how you enjoy books, and please keep reading because it's so good for your brain and so nice to switch off. And I'm trying to do that more, not to sit on my phone, try a bit more book. I'm still struggling like everyone else, but I'm trying. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again. Please write in your comments your favorite books and your recommendations, because I need some new ones always. And yeah, hopefully see you there. Subscribe, like, hit the bell button, all that good stuff. You know what I'm talking about. See ya!